Instead of accepting destructive pendulum swings, look for pendulums that work in your favor. This means getting into the habit of paying attention to everything that is good and positive. As soon as you see, read, or hear something good, pleasant and encouraging, fix it in your thoughts and rejoice. Imagine you are walking through the forest. There are beautiful, pleasant flowers and poisonous thorns. Which will you choose? If you picked some elderflowers, brought them home, and put them in a vase, you would soon have a headache. Why do you need this? It is equally harmful to react to destructive pendulums. It is better to pick a jasmine flower, admire it, and enjoy its scent. Leave the positive in you, and then more good news and opportunities will come your way. Now you have felt inspiration and joy, but then you get caught up in the routine again. The holidays are over and the workdays begin. How can you maintain the holiday spirit within yourself? First, remember it. We usually dive headfirst into monotonous everyday life, forget about something good, and stop enjoying it. It is a bad habit to forget. Pendulums make us forget. You need to keep the spark of a vacation within yourself in order to appreciate this feeling. Observe how life is improving. Grab every drop of joy. Look for good signs in everything. At least it's not boring. You need to remember every minute that you devote to transurfing. Consciously move towards your dream and thus control your destiny. This alone instills calmness, confidence, and joy, which means that the vacation is always with you. When the feeling of celebration becomes a habit, you will constantly be on top of a wave of fortune. Be happy with everything you have right now. This is not an empty call to be happy by definition. Sometimes circumstances turn out in such a way that it is very difficult to be satisfied. But from a purely practical point of view, expressing dissatisfaction is very unprofitable. After all, do you want to follow those lines of life where everything suits you? But how do you get there if your radiation is full of discontent? On the contrary, the frequency of such radiation adapts exactly to those lines where you feel bad. Good lines are distinguished by the fact that you feel good about them and your thoughts are filled with joy and satisfaction. Good news is less exciting and quickly forgotten. Bad news, on the other hand, evokes a lively response because it represents a potential threat. Don't let bad news enter your heart and therefore your life. Close yourself off to bad news and open yourself up to good news. The slightest positive change should be noticed and appreciated. These are the harbingers of a wave of fortune. As soon as you hear the slightest encouraging news, don't forget it immediately, as you did before, but on the contrary. Savor it, discuss it, seek it out. Consider this news from all angles. Rejoice, make predictions, expect further improvements. Therefore, think about the frequency of the wave of fortune and tune into its parameters. There will be more and more good news. Life will improve. This is not mysticism, and it is not a property of the human psyche to filter information. When a pessimist looks at the world through dark glasses, but an optimist through rose-colored glasses, this is reality. You are moving along the lifelines, corresponding to the parameters of your thought energy. When you are in good relations with yourself and the world around you, you transmit harmonious radiation to the outside world. You create a zone of harmonious vibrations around you, where everything goes well. A positive attitude always leads to success and creativity. Negativity, on the other hand, is always destructive, aimed at destruction. For example, there is a category of people who look for problems, not solutions. They are always ready to heatedly discuss difficulties and find new obstacles. Such people often find it difficult to offer a real solution because they are not initially focused on the solution itself, but on finding difficulties. Focusing on finding problems brings them in abundance, but things do not move forward. The focus on finding and criticizing the negative aspects also always brings the corresponding results. There is a lot of damage, but no benefit. Look around and you will definitely find such people. They are neither good nor bad. They just sit firmly on the hook of destructive pendulums. Most people take any undesirable event in their life with hostility. As a rule, an undesirable event for us is an event that does not fit into our scenario. Conversely, we take only what meets our expectations as good luck. It happens that a person is late for a plane that is about to crash and is very upset about this. And vice versa, he misses a unique opportunity just because it was not part of his plans. The worse a person thinks about the world around them, the worse this world becomes for them. The more they get upset about failure, the more willingly new ones come. Take the exact opposite position. Rejoice despite failures. Find even the slightest benefit in them. This is always possible. The glass is not half empty but half full. The banal saying, "What is not done is best," works perfectly if this is your credo. It is necessary to stubbornly adhere to the attitude towards the good, to abandon the old habit of getting angry for any reason. An alternative way of perceiving failure is to rejoice at every failure or unwanted development of events. Every failure at least serves as a useful lesson, makes you stronger and more experienced. Rejoice in any manifestation of your world, and it will become a paradise. This is, of course, a very unusual way to behave, but the goal is quite unusual. How can this be achieved by conventional methods? This is difficult at first, because the old habit of reacting negatively to unwanted things is very strong. The main thing is to learn to remember, in every annoying circumstance, that this pendulum is trying to hook you. As soon as you remember this, you can consciously make a choice. Give energy to the pendulum. Give it your negative emotions, or leave it with nothing and thus win. If you remember, failing or turning off the pendulum is not difficult at all. We always give energy to the pendulum unconsciously. As already mentioned, pendulums pull the strings of our feelings, and our habits serve as a lever to start the mechanism for capturing our thoughts. Even after reading this chapter and making a goal to remember, you will again react negatively to the unwanted. Then you realize that at that moment you simply forgot and acted unconsciously, out of habit. However, if you remember in time how the situation is under your control, you will chuckle to yourself, "Oh, is that you, the pendulum? Hey, you can't hook me now. You are no longer a puppet. You are free to consciously accept or push the pendulum." If you practice this technique persistently over time, the old habit will be replaced by the new one. But while this is happening, the pendulums will try to catch you in every possible way. You will notice that, as if on purpose, many annoying problems are falling on you. Do not despair. Most of them will be minor problems. If you do not give up and learn to remember, your victory will be very impressive, you will see. And the result will be this: when you once again encounter a wave of fortune, the pendulum will not be able to carry you away. Thus, the bird of happiness will remain in your hands. Well, to attract it, you need to transmit positive energy around you. That is, to be not only an extremely positive receiver, but also a translator. As a result, the world around you will change for the better very quickly. You will easily glide toward increasingly successful lifelines. Ultimately, you will wait for a wave of fortune to come, which will pick you up and quickly carry you to success. But don't think that transurfing is limited to just gliding on the wave of fortune. These are only the first and simplest steps. Many more amazing discoveries await you.